Oh, sorry about that one. Oh, it's Friday. Alrighty, you guys, let me just move my laptop over. I've got that streaming. It's all working great. 2 weeks in a row. Hopefully I'll be able to see the comments. All right, getting it a little bit closer. All right, looks like I've got Pam and Carol on here. Lee, nice to see you guys. All right, I'm just going to give a couple more minutes for people to come on board. If you haven't checked in with us, let us know where you're watching from. That's always fun to know. There's Pam. Hey, Pam, I hope you're doing good. All right, so I got a lot to go over tonight. I decided I would show you guys all of my retreat cards, except for one of the main Sundays cards, because we all know the peach dies have been on back order forever because they're so popular. And my shipment supposedly came today. I tracked it because it was supposed to come, and sometimes UPS will come like 9 o'clock at night. So I logged in, looked at the tracking number, and it said it was delivered at my front door at like 10:20 this morning. Well, guess what? It's not at my front door. So I had a really big package from my upline today. That was there from the USPS along with our mail, but my dies are missing. So that means I can't design my class. So I gotta look into where the package is. Hopefully it was just misdelivered to a neighbor. But I'm not sure. No neighbor has come along. So I might be calling UPS in the morning. But anyway, I can show you everything from my July retreat except for the peach class. So we're gonna get started. Looks like I've got everybody I know here is either on my team or a customer of mine, so that's awesome. Or you receive my monthly card club. So we're going to start with monthly card club because it is going to shut off on the 20th at after 8 o'clock, June 20th. So let me just start here first because I can get this paper out of the way and just clear up my surface here. So my June host code here is HXG6J9E7. So if you use that code with your orders at my website, inspiredbygraham.com, I will send you in July a free package of the From My Heart Faceted Gems. I don't have these in my craft room, so I do have a little picture here of what they look like. So it looks like there's a lot of different colors here. So if your order is $35 to $149.99, make sure you use that host code. If it's $150 or more, don't use that host code so you can get your Stampin' Rewards plus these from me as well. So that's very important that you use that host code if it's $35 to $149.99. Some people don't use it, and I feel bad, but I can't go through and call Stampin' Up on every single order that doesn't use it because I just don't have the time. So make sure you use that host code. So June Card Club features the Sweet Symmetry, and these are the cards I designed. You'll get one full bolt of the ribbon. You'll also get a package of the in color gems. So this one's really fun. I do use the punch on this. If you do not have the stamp set, which is called Flowers and Friendship, you're still going to get the punched out shapes like this. You're just not going to have them stamped because I cannot send stamped images. So if you have the Flowers of Friendship and the punch, well then that's okay. But you can also design your cards without the stamp set and use something that you have. So again, this is the first one here, and then the second one here uses the Flirty Flamingo cardstock as your main cardstock there. And the sweet Oh gosh, can't remember. It's Friday. I can't remember on Fridays because I'm so tired from all the week of work, but it'll come back to me, those dies. Here's I use the stitch rectangles and Just Jade. I love how these turned out this way this month. And then here is this really fun fold one that you're going to use one 6 by it's almost 6 by 12 designer series paper. It's kind of a fun fold on top of another fun fold. So that'll be fun. Then here's another design created with that first card I showed, just a reverse of the designer series paper. We did this on a live about 3 weeks ago. So that is my June card club. And it does feature the ribbon here. And this is really fun ribbon. It's called Just Jade in Gold. So it is supposed to fray like this on the ends. So no worries there. And then the elements here, I'm going to be sending the 2020 to 2022 in color square gems. They have all the nice little in colors there. So that is for the month of June. Again, you have until 8 p.m. Sunday, June 20th to register for that. And you can register at inspiredbygraham.com. It's $38 a month. It's a recurring fee. And if you are a consecutive, 6 months consecutive with my card club, I send you $25 worth of Stampin' Up! Products. So it's it's worth it to stick around for 6 months. I have one customer that's been with me since I started in March of, I think it was 2020. So she's gotten quite a few, at least $50 worth, and I think she's going to be getting another 25 soon. So anyway, it's a great deal, and you always get $20 worth of Stampin' Up! Products within your card club, and it's only $38 a month. So I really love cutting up all the paper and designing and packaging it for my customers. Okay. Okay, the same coupon code. No, okay, I'm just looking at Pam, your question about the coupon code. No, that is different. So it is when you check out the host code. Now, I know Stampin' Up! Mentioned something about changing the customer experience. So I'm not sure if that has gone through yet or not. But you can always call Stampin' Up! On Monday to have them add that to your order. Just 1-800-STAMP-UP is the phone number. And they'll gladly switch that over for you. All right, so my retreat, I have 15 people registered for it. So that's awesome. My goal was to have 10 in person, and I have 13 in person and 2 retreat in a boxes. So I do have this open to customers throughout the United States, so they can have the same experience, except for you won't be stamping in person with us, but you'll still receive everything that the people in person receive except for the food. And I cannot send that. I have a card club participant that said, please do not send chocolate anymore, because I did that and I think it was like Valentine's or something like that, and it all melted. She lives in a warm state, I think Texas or Arizona. I can't remember which one. But anyway, she asked me never to send chocolate again. So I don't want that to explode or melt all over our beautiful paper. So I can't send that, but it does cost about $20 to ship. So it's kind of an equal trade. But anyway, I've got 4 add-on classes. And I have my main class too. So with the retreat, if you're on my email list, you have received this twice. I'm going to send it one more time, and I'll send it tomorrow as a reminder. Now, if you've already registered and you say, oh man, I really love those cards, that add-on class, well, I have a separate link just to add on those classes now, because once you register with Constant Contact, through my Constant Contact, it will close it out and you can't go back in to adjust your order. So what I have done was I created the other night add-on classes separately. So I'm going to be sending that email out to everybody that's registered, whether you have purchased an add-on class or not, so that you have the opportunity to add it on at the last minute. So my Creative Escape Summer Stamp Retreat with me is on July 24th and 25th. It's in White River Junction, Vermont. And I've secured a conference room at the town hall, so it's awesome. Now the first day, Saturday, we're going to be making plant cards. So these are really fun. Let me just get these out of the way. So what I've designed are 4 different cards, and they're just beautiful. I love the bark. You guys have the bark embossing folder yet? If you don't have it, it's a really like highly recommended embossing folder. I'm not sure. I think you can see it. I'm looking at my laptop, and it's really, really, really awesome. Now, with the retreat to go, you're going to want to have the Plentiful Plants bundle. That is only $47.50. And if you add it on with me during my retreat, I'm going to include the tax and the shipping for you. So that's kind of, it'll be at a discount for you. All right, so then on the inside, I just designed it like that. So that's card number 1. Card number 2 has got a lot of die cutting, and it's got this nice little trellis here. And you can see where I added in the Genial Gems there. And here's a little basket 2 little baskets that I die cut out, along with this I fussy cut out, and this I did too. But these are really like this planter, this macrame. You can cut it different ways to make different designs with it, and I'll show you on another card. And then here's this. I just added the brick designer series paper on the inside. So that's card number 2 from Saturday. And then here's this one. Now see how the macrame looks different? So with this one, I left these on, and this is in basic white. This is die cut in gray granite, and I've removed the outside pieces to give it a different look. We stamp the foliage on the basic white, and I've got 2 little die cuts there in different colors, garden green, and I believe that is soft succulent. So that's kind of how you can die cut these differently. We're using linen thread as well. So that's the difference there. You can see how I die cut these out of the paper, the designer series paper. You're going to get a 12 by 12 pack. All right, and then lastly, this one here I used again the bark, but we cut it into 4 or like 5 different pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different pieces at all different lengths and widths, or not lengths but widths. And then we run them through the bark embossing folder. This I fussy cut out. You can kind of tell because there's not a die that goes with this plant. And then this one I fussy cut as well. And the pot I did too. And you can just add some Wink Stella to all these too. That makes it look really nice. And then on the inside, I did a background stamp here with one of the stamps, and then the message over top. And then a bonus, so you'll make 8 of these, 2 of each. And then we're gonna make some 3x3 note card, well, not note cards, but they're 3x3 mini cards. These are super fun. I always love to make little note cards like this. You can design them however you want. You're gonna receive enough note cards to make 8. And there's this one here and this one. So really, really fun stamp set. I love it. And there's so many different things that you can make with just different layerings and just different images that you can. You can also stamp as well. So lots of different options with that Plentiful Plants bundle. So that is Saturday's class. And then also I've got 4 add-on classes, which we'll talk about. But I don't have the peach. So I have the peach. Here it is. It's the Sweet as a Peach bundle. It's only $36.75 as an add-on because I cover the shipping and the tax for you. But this here is what I don't have. Mr. UPS, it says it was delivered to my door, so it's not here. I do have the stamp set and the designer series paper, but I really can't do anything until I get this. So I got to figure out with UPS where it all is. So that will be Sunday's cards. Again, we'll be making 8 cards at least, and probably some note cards as well, the ones that you can mail. All right, now my add-on classes. So add-on classes cost $25, except for the framed image, which is $20. Sunny Sentiments this is the stamp set here, and we are going to be making, let's see, we're going to be using the Pansy Petal Designer Series paper. This is the card I'm going to make with you tonight. However, what did I just do with them all? Oh, they're over here. Okay, hold on just a second. Let me pull them out here. I've got them all stacked up. So we're using Pansy Petals Designer Series paper, and these are your cards that you'll be making if you order the add-on for only $25, and you'll make one of each of these cards. And it includes the Sunny Sentiment stamp set for $25. You get the stamp set plus 4 cards, and you'll get the embellishments too, the pearls that I used here. So this is really fun here. We're going to make this one in Blackberry Bliss tonight. And then here's a nice simple card using Blackberry Bliss. That's one of my favorite colors. And on the inside, we die cut the, well, you can't really die. Yeah, I die cut these. You can also fussy cut them out if you don't have the dies. And I just layered those on the inside, and I popped one up with a Stampin' Dimensional. And then this one I tried to make something of a masculine card, and this is all I could come up with because I do like to give some options. And as you can see with the Designer Series paper here, there's really not a lot of options to make guy cards. So this is the one I got to closest. It uses lots of different greens. So we design a birthday card, and I use the Tasteful Textures embossing folder on the Evening Evergreen cardstock, and then on the inside is just a basic Designer Series paper strip. This one weighs quite a bit because there's a lot of different layers in it, but I love how it turned out. And then this one here uses the, oh geez, sorry, Pale Papaya. Had a mental brain zap there. So, and then this one here, and you guys know I love to wrap my ribbon on the inside of the card just to show it off. You can also put a nice little gift card like with an envelope here and hang it there. So, and we use the butterfly dies too. All right, so that is the optional class for 25. You guys are seeing all my card designs. I love how everyone turned out. I usually don't do this, but I figured, you know what? I'm gonna give a look because I haven't had a retreat in like a year and a half because of COVID. So I'm spoiling you guys. And then the next one is this one here. Okay, we all know that the Expressions in Ink Specialty Designer Series paper is sadly not orderable at the moment, but I checked again tonight and it says June 28th is when they're expecting it in the warehouse. So I'm going to be using this as an add-on class with Biggest Wish stamp set. Again, this class, $25 as an add-on. So you'll be seeing me use this quite a bit. We will be making, let's see, which card? Oh yeah, we're going to be making this card tonight. My YouTube live is going to go quite long because I'm going to do all this die cutting with you. But this is the one we'll be making tonight. And then this is, I love this one with all the different greens. So we got Pear Pizzazz, Evening Evergreen. This is the Designer Series paper that's in it. And then we're just layering. So we got Pale Papaya. We've got the Expressions and ink. We've got some gold. We've got some little fun embellishments here. And then our thanks in Pear Pizzazz, and on the inside I got thanks friend. So this stamp set allows you to stamp, like I would do a dark color on the bottom and then a nice pop of color there. So I used Magenta Madness and this one here, and also Pear Pizzazz. This one here, so this one turned out to be, okay, how am I going to do this one? Sorry, the other card is stuck on it there. So I tried to make kind of a fun fold, lots of layers, cards for, or lots of layers using lots of paper in panels. So this one's kind of opens up like this. And um, so lots of like a 3x4 designer series paper. We've got a strip. We've got Just Jade here. Pierce Blooms is like, if you don't have this die set, I'm going to be using it tonight. You really need to get it because look at the detail of these flowers here. And you can layer so nicely with this set. And then on the inside, I use the dinosaur dies, Dinosaur and Friends, I think. Dino and Friends, I think that's what it's called, dies. So place you can write on, and we have that. I love that paper so much, I had to bring it on into the inside. All right, and then lastly, this one here is very simple, using the die cut from the bundle here. And we use the double oval punch and punched hello. And here's some more of those Pierce Blooms. And then if you're a retreat in the box, guess what? Karen's going to die cut all of this for you, including the gold piece here. I'll punch these as well, and you'll just have to stamp on here. And then on the inside, this is shaded spruce, by the way. Just a really nice card. You could get away with not even adding this on and just using the designer series paper as a layer and with these little embellishments and call it good. So speaking of designer series paper, I'm a demonstrator, so I know that July 1st, designer series paper is going to be going on sale. I don't know anything else. I don't even know what designer series paper is going to be going on sale, but when I do, I will let you know. All right, so that's the Expressions in Ink Biggest Wish combination class for $25. Includes the stamp set. I'm gonna peek real quick while just to see if there's any questions. Nope. Okay. All right, so then the last, not the last add-on, but the sweet ice cream is next. Now, I know a lot of people have this one, including the punch. I have had it for a while, but I haven't used it until now. So I created a bunch of 4 cards to go with this one. Now, this one is $25, but it does not include the punch. It's going to include the stamp set, but not the punch. So the cards I designed here, let me just bring this all over. This uses the Pattern Party Designer Series paper. So the Pattern Party Designer Series paper is a host reward. So if you have a $150 order, you can add this on to your order for $3 because you get a $15 credit when your order is $150, and then anything up is 10%. So basically, if you had a $180 order, you would receive the Pattern Party Designer Series paper for free because it's $18. So right here, it's a value of $30. But as your Stampin' Rewards, you can add those right to that and get this pack for free. It's a ton of paper, you guys. So I designed the sweet ice cream class using this paper. So this is super, super fun. I used the Fine Art Floral embossing folder to create the ice cream texture here. And then this is probably the hardest thing on this card is actually, we're going to do this one tonight, is creating or stamping within that little tiny circle, but I know you guys can do it. And then on the inside, it's just so fun and happy. That's that design. And then this one is kind of more geared to a guy, I guess, a young boy with a 4 stack of ice cream. Doesn't that look like super good? All right. And then I double layered this one. And then here's a really one. This one screams ice cream. Like, I love ice cream. I don't know why I don't have chocolate ice cream on any of these because that's my favorite. But we got 3 different flavors there. And then with sprinkles on top. So happy birthday. And then You're So Cool. This one's super fun too. And then You Melt My Heart. Oh, there's something in there. I don't know what that is. But super, super fun card. Class for $25, including the stamp set. Okay. And of course, you'll get some of that designer series paper as well. So then I have one more option, you guys. This is crazy, right? Karen has been so super busy designing classes. I usually stress when I have to design one class. Well, I have 6 classes I've designed with my retreat. This is my final one, and it's a framed kind of home decor piece, and we're going to use the dies from the Meadow Garden, I think it's called, and those sweet little gold bumblebees. You'll get 3 of those, including a frame and the die cuts. I can't stamp for you. I'll send you all of these little embellishments here. I'm going to die cut them for you if it's a retreat in the box. And also I'll die cut them for anybody ordering the special class in person. But I'm not going to watercolor them. They're going to be in watercolor paper, but you're going to color them how you want to color them in the colors that you choose. Now the frame might be a different color because I can only get so many frames, but I'll do my best to keep them all the same. And then you'll get, of course, 3 little bumblebees. And I did add the Wink of Stella on these just to make it shine. So this class is only $30. It's a 5x7, and you'll use that designer series paper from the plant bundle as part of your frame if you choose to order the Wildflowers 3D project. So that is my retreat, you guys. It closes at 8 p.m. Sunday, this Sunday, because on Monday I need to order everything and start prepping for lots of things like my June card club that's got 22 people in it, and my retreat in a box has at least 15, maybe more if some of you guys want to jump on board, and also my card club too. So I got a lot of paper cutting to do, and I'm going to be taking some vacation time to do it in July. So all right, so let me clear up my area here, and we're going to get started. Let me see. We are going to be making this one first. And we're using sweet ice cream. So I think I've got mostly everything cut and ready to go, hopefully. I know I'll have to do some die cutting, and I'm going to use a mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. All right, so again, lots of different layers here. I use 1/8 of an inch, which should not be scary to you guys. Maybe it is because I was never a math student. So 1/8 of an inch is really kind of mess with my brain. So, and I was never good at math. I gotta get my my Pierce mat too, because we're working with photopolymer stamps. Okay, so as you can see, we need to do some stamping, not very much, but we do need to use some. And hopefully I can get in the camera here. Let me just kind of move things around. I need to just stamp "You Melt My Heart" and also the cone here. So to do that, I've got this little piece here, and I use the layering circles dies, and they're the smallest ones, so the scalloped and the smallest circle. And then we need to use Poppy Parade ink, so let me just open that up. And I don't think, the only thing I didn't do was add my stamps to my blocks, because I wanted to show you guys how Stampin' Up! Does their photopolymer stamps now. They took away with that flimsy piece of plastic, and they actually added the images to the back side of the paper here. That's an insert, so you know where your stamps go and you know if you're missing any. So that's why I wanted to show you guys that. So I've got this one and this little triangle that I need to use. So I'm just gonna grab a couple blocks and add them to my blocks here. I'm using, I love the Stampin' Up! Blocks, block B, and this one is block C. Okay, so "You Melt My Heart" needs to go really, this is gonna be tight. Let's see if I can get it on the first try. Not too bad, I'm gonna go with that. It's really juicy ink right now, and I'm gonna set that aside. Then we're gonna stamp the cone. So let me grab the punch and show you, because you got to stamp this the correct way. So you see how that triangle is? So when you are stamping, you need to be able to, you've got to remember that the stamp, the triangle, the peak is always at the top. So we're going to use soft suede ink, and I wanted a dark ice cream cone. So I think early espresso would be way too dark, so I went with the next lighter color, which is soft suede. So that's like super easy. And normally I would have like punched, like should have, let me show you, I should have stamped closer to the right side of the paper, because then I wouldn't have wasted that. So now I've got 2 cones. I can use this one for another card, and I'm just kind of lining up the punch here, and we'll just punch out that triangle. Okay, set that aside. If you want to see me do that again, I've got one right here, and I'm just going to punch it out. Again, just going to line that up real nice and just punch that out. We're going to use this punch again for the ice cream itself, but we can do that next. So here's the painted textures. Actually, it was painted textures that I used. Embossing folder. I already put this through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I've used crushed curry and granny apple green and poppy parade. Those are all 3 colors that are in the designer series paper here. So, and we're going to go with a triple ice cream today, not just 2 but 3. And so then I'm going to take the punch here, and I'm just going to slide it in here, and I'm going to punch that ice cream. Okay. And then I can get actually another one to get punched out if I really wanted to. I'm not gonna, I'm gonna try, but let's see if I can get it. Just barely fits. There we go. This one's kind of on the embossing folder that's more of a flat. So there's not a lot of texture in that cone. I probably wouldn't use it. But this is great to use up your scraps of cardstock. So now I'm going to just punch out the Poppy Parade ice cream. And also I'm going to go with this side because it's got more texture. Granny Apple Green. Okay. And my allergies are going crazy, and I feel like I'm going to sneeze. So if I sneeze, I'm sorry. It's just the nature of Vermont right now. Where we live, there's so many pine trees, and they shed their needles this week. I'm not sure if you guys have pine needles where you live, but it's just crazy. It's a carpet of pine needles out there, which I don't really like. Okay, so now let's kind of assemble the card here. I've got my silicone craft sheet this week. I remembered that, to have that close by. All right, so we've got the Fleur de Flamingo, and this is cut 4 1/4 by 11. I've already pre-scored it at 5 1/2. And then we've got more pieces here. We've got our Poppy Parade, which is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And then I have the Pattern Party Designer Series paper with the stripes this time. And it's just 1/8 of an inch smaller. And on the back side of all that paper is mostly blacks. And I don't think there's a flavor of black ice cream. So this is cut 3 3 3/4 by 5. And then I'm just going to layer this right on at 1/8 of an inch border. So I'm focusing for my eyes on the left corner down here, and then just following all the way up here, and everything else should be fine. All right, so that one is all set. And then this one, it's just adhered with the stamp and seal. And I'm going to bring this card in here, or the card base, and we're just going to layer that right down. Simple so far, right? I've got all the ice cream in the way. Now I've got a piece of the Pattern Party Designer Series paper, and I think this is 2.5. Yep, 2.5 by 2.5. And it's adhered to a panel that is 2 5/8 by 2 5/8. So we've got a square on a square, and then this piece here is going to get added on to the card front at an angle. Now kind of just look at the Designer Series paper and see the pattern and which way you want it. Some of it will be covered up, but I'm just going to add it at an angle. And then I've got a piece underneath here. I don't know if you saw it or not, Fleur de Flamingo. I'm going to add, and then I don't know if you saw that this side is curved. You can keep it straight like this if you wanted to, or if you wanted to kind of make your ends of that fancy, I would suggest the lovely labels, pick a punch. So this one here, you can punch 3 different sizes. So this is a 1/2 inch. So I'm just sliding this into the track all the way to the end, and then I'm going to punch. And it has, oh, I didn't do that one very good. Let me see if I can get that. I didn't have it all the way in. Oh my gosh, that one's even worse. Hold on. That was not supposed to happen. All right, so I'm just going to trim that down, and let's see if I can get it again. Anyway, it's supposed to cut this really nice. Oh, I can't get it. I'm sorry. Let's try this track. But it's supposed to... I'm like losing my paper here. It is like so tiny. I'm going to try. I don't think I'm going to be able to get it, and I don't have a scrap. So guess what? I'm just going to square it off. But anyway, I tried to fancy up the ends for you, but if you want to do a banner cut, you can do that. For me, I don't particularly like banner cuts, so I'm just going to keep that piece the way it is. Now, this might not be long enough, but we're going to try it. So this is going to just kind of add some detail to your card. So I'm going to pop this one up with some Stampin' Dimensionals. So let me just grab some of those. Got a sheet here that's half used. All right, so we're just going to peel off those backings, and then we're going to add this one kind of so it's extending over the left side and above that corner. Just like that, it just kind of adds a little bit of detail. Now we're going to create that ice cream cone. So I've got my little cone, and I've got my 3 ice creams. You're going to want to use glue dots. Work really nice with these. So to stack it, first decide what colors you want in the order. Okay, I think that looks pretty good, so we're going to go with that. You can use your adhesive, or you can use glue dots. So I'm just going to put one on the back side. You can put 2 on there. I'll show you 2 different ways of adding these on. So then just basically, you're going to layer these on top. And then you can also add your adhesive just down on the bottom. That might be faster for you. And then there's our triple. And then we'll add some more adhesive down there, and we're going to add this right to the ice cream cone. All right, so that didn't take too long to build a nice little ice cream there. And now we're going to flip this over. We're going to add some Stampin' Dimensionals. Again, I would add probably 3 because it's a fairly large piece. And then let's bring in our card here. I'm going to add it. I guess I shouldn't have used the yellow on the top, but that's okay. All right, and then we've got our stamped circle here. Add some adhesive, and we're gonna layer it on this really small scalloped circle. So basically maybe a 1/16 of an inch comes over the edge there. I'm gonna use one Stampin' Dimensional, and we'll just add that to the front here. Let's add it right there. And then we've got our, these are called the Artistry Blooms Adhesive Backed sequins. Now these carried over from last year's catalog, which is super great because they work with this paper. So what you're going to want to do is just take your take a pick tool, and they come in different colors. They've got a blue one right here, so I'm basically gonna sprinkle just a couple around. This is Rich Razzleberry. Let's put one up there. You can also kind of put them on the top of the cone as well. I'm not gonna take time to do that tonight because this is gonna be a pretty long video. So 3 or 5, so I'm gonna put 5 on here because remember, odd numbers are better and more pleasing to your eyes than even numbers. All right, so that is tonight's card for the ice cream, sweet ice cream stamp set. Let me just clean up my area here because there's chaos. All right, so here's this one that I made based on this one here. So you can see totally different looks because of the designer series paper, okay? And again, the add-on class, which includes a sweet ice cream stamp set, you'll make this one here, which is super fun. And then here's the boy kind of version, I guess. And then You're So Cool, You Melt My Heart. All right, so that is my add-on class with sweet ice cream for my retreat. So if you missed that and just coming on, I'm offering a retreat in July, and you can register by 8 o'clock Sunday. And then it's gonna get turned off, and then I've got to place my order. Actually, you guys, I totally forgot the inside of that card. I just see the pieces right here. So all I would do is add that strip of designer series paper on the inside of that basic white, and then just add it right onto the inside of that card. So that is number 1. The next card we're going to be making is the butterfly one. And let me find that one for you. There's so many card projects here. Here it is. All right, so we are going to be making this one right here. All right, it uses one of my favorite colors, which is Blackberry Bliss. All right, let me just clean up all these Stampin' Dimensionals, get those out of the way. Okay, and I'm gonna close up my Poppy Parade because that would be like a huge mess here if I accidentally put something in it. Okay, so we have Sunny Sentiments. All right, nice sentiment stamp set, lots of different sizes, one really long one. I'm not using this one tonight. I'm going to be using the Thank You. I've got my Blackberry Bliss and my stamp set. Okay. So this one, you can see it's not a standard A2 like in length here. I did cut a little bit off, but we used the Pansy Petals Designer Series paper, which is fantastic. All right. All right. Oh, wait, I just grabbed the wrong one. Hold on just a second. This one, we are making, not that, I'm sorry, where I got ahead of my, this is the one we're making tonight. All right, let me switch gears. I'm like, that didn't look right. Okay, this is the one we're going to be making, and it's got that nice little scalloped die cut from the contours. Okay. So I did do a lot of die cutting ahead of time. Oh, somebody's got fireworks. Someone just went off. Okay, so here's the Blackberry Bliss cardstock. What I did was I cut this 4 1/4 by 11, and then I used the contour scallop die, and I ran it through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and it created this nice little stitching around the edge of that paper. So that's super fun. Now I've got some designer series paper here, the Pansy Petals, and it's cut 4 by 3 3/4. Now this size depends on how far you cut this up. So mine measures 4 by 3 3/4. And I'm going to get my silicone craft sheet in here, and that protects my work surface from adhesive. Now this is directional somewhat because we've got pansies here, and we want to make sure that you're cutting your paper correctly. So I'm just adding this on to the front of the card here. Okay, very simple. And then we've got another die cut here from the contours. Now I noticed that the contours dies are low inventory the last time I checked. Now that could have changed, but these are like a staple now in my craft room. And then here's a piece of that designer series paper that is cut. This is an 1/8, like it's 1 3/8 by 2 5/8. And it fits really nicely onto this scalloped die cut. So we're just going to add 2 strips of adhesive, and there is a right and a wrong side, so make sure when you're placing this on, you have it on the correct side. I'm just going to layer this on just like that. Okay, now this piece gets layered right on top of this card base. Super easy. And since this is not directional, it doesn't really matter which way I put it on because it's going to look the same. I'm just going to add this right to the card front on the left side. Now I'm going to take my die cut here. This is from Tasteful Labels, sorry. I got my Blackberry Bliss ink, and I've got the stamp A Happy Hello to You. And then I'm just going to stamp this right on that die cut. And it's really a deep purple, like maroonish color. And let me just close that ink up. And now we're going to flip that piece over. Actually, no, I use Stampin Dimensionals, so let me grab those, and I would add probably 4. 1 to each corner. And then let's pop those off. All right, so now this is going to go, I hate these little pieces, they just like stick everywhere. Okay, now this is going to go right about here. And then here's a bunch of the pansies that some of them I die cut, and some of them I didn't. I fussy cut because I wanted to try fussy cutting and die cutting. So it's not that difficult to fussy cut these out, but we do have the dies that go with the paper. So the dies that come with this bundle cut out the pansies in the paper, so that's really fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place a bunch of these since I have a different variety of colors. I'm just going to kind of look and see which ones look the best on this particular card. I think I'm going to go with, I'm going to change it up a little bit because this one here I use that nice dark deep color there, and I'm going to use the yellow version here with probably the pink and like the calypso coral there. All right, that's kind of what I like to do. I like to die cut a bunch of these out and then kind of pick and choose. So these are already die cut out, and I'm going to just save them for another card. All right, so this one here in the middle is going to get popped up. And let me grab my Stampin Dimensionals. Since this is a larger piece, I'm going to add 2. And then this one's going to get put right in the middle. And then this one here, let me see, I think, yep, I just adhered these right straight down to that panel that's underneath. So just take your adhesive, run it on the back side, and just tuck this like right underneath. And then this one here is going to go kind of into here. Okay, now I've got a piece of that designer series paper. This is cut 2x4. Now, if you want, you could make it like this. So it looks like this, or you can give it a little bit of character and use the reverse side with the yellow coming through. So I kind of like that, and that's what I'm going to use with this one. You can also see the scallops a little bit more when you use this side of the paper versus this side. Do you see what I mean? This is the busy side, and the other side is not so busy. So we're going to just take our adhesive and run it right across. We don't have to worry about this one because it's really not directional. And we're just going to add this to the bottom. And then I've got another piece of basic white, and I'm going to layer this right on the inside here. And I like to layer mine just a little bit over the designer series paper. And then you can take some of these little die cuts here and add, like, you could add just 1 or 2 to the inside of the card. Since this is a larger one, I'm just going to add 1. So we'll just put that one right there. And on the inside, oh, on this one, I guess I didn't add any. I think that actually looks pretty good. The final touch on this one is the basic pearls. And let's see, they're right here in front of me. Now I've got some really, really old basic pearls. Like I probably have had these for like 5 years. They come like this now. But whenever I'm making cards, I love to be able to like use what I have in my craft room. And of course, I've still got these. So I'm just going to, and these used to come where they're all connected. So let me just show you how I just took those off. I used my Take Your Pick tool, which has a really sharp point to it, and I'm just putting it right through there, and I'm just kind of taking them right off. And I'm just adding a nice little pearl to the center of those 3 here. And then, so I've got 3 on there, and let's add some more throughout the card. So I'm going to add, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, and again, 7 as an odd number, okay? And if you wanted to, you could also add 1 to the inside of that pansy too, so it all looks the same. All right, so that is card number 2 for you guys. I haven't looked at comments or anything, and I have no idea if anybody's watching me. I'm not paying attention, I'm just paper crafting. All right, so those are the 2. I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to take a look and see if there's any questions that anybody has. Does it look like it? And it looks like it still has some people watching me, so that's awesome. It's chocolate or nothing. That is right, Denise. I hope you're going to bring chocolate to the next in-person class. All right, so printer out is gorgeous. Thank you about that, Denise. About the framed flowers picture. Yeah, that was really fun making that one. I couldn't decide what colors I wanted to use. Turn the ice cream over. It makes a cute teddy bear head too. Oh, I didn't think about that, Joni. A teddy bear head. Let me grab. I have my little box here that I've had on my desk with a bunch of different die cuts I have left over. So if you turn it upside down, oh, you're so right. Doesn't that look like a teddy bear? What a great idea, Joni. Now, Joni, I'm going to challenge you to make a card with this, all right? So I hope you have that punch. And I'm challenging you to post that, your card design you have all weekend, but you post it on our group, Facebook group page. I want to see it. And if you don't have that punch, I will send you some browns and you'll make a teddy bear for us. I love our team. We have so much fun. All right, so with that class offering, you'll be making this one, or actually it'll be this in this color, and then this one because I've used the Blackberry Bliss, and then here's this one, and then the all green version. So that is only $25 and includes the stamp set. All right, so the last card we're going to be making has the die cutting in it. All right, so let me just bring it in front of you. I'm going to clear up my desk. And because I need a lot more room for this one because we're going to be using this mini cut and emboss. But this one like screams pink, doesn't it? Lots and lots of pinks there. All right, I'm getting my box. All right, what do I have in it here? I have the kit that's all ready to go. We're going to embellish with the champagne rhinestone basic jewels. Even though this is not gold, it's got a hint of pink in it. Champagne with the, like gold pinkish color. It looks really nice on the card here. I've got my friend stamp on a D block. And then we are using Magenta Madness for stamping. And the dies come from Pierced Blooms. Now this set, I don't have a template for you guys, but I do have them on magnet sheets, okay? So it comes with lots of different die cuts. Now what I really like about this one is going to save me a lot of time when I'm die cutting kits for you guys. It's got doubles. So see here, these are the same dies. So when I'm running them through my die cutting machine, it's going to save me time. And there's a couple other dies in here that are duplicates. So here's all of the centers here, these little circles. All right. Make little fabulous centers. And then here's a bunch of just different random flowers and some leaves up here as well. And here's another one that's a double. And there are, I don't know if you guys know this, on dies from Stampin' Up, it will tell you how many dies are in the set. So this one has 25. This is the first card I've actually made using these Pierce Bloom dies. I've had them in my craft room. I think I purchased them like in November or December. And I'm so happy that they actually carried over. Because now that I've used them, look, I stacked it. I've got gold and I've got Magenta Madness. I cannot never remember the color of this one. And then I've got Just Jade here at the top. So, and I've got that fabulous ribbon that probably is on back order. But let's see what just came out of this kit. Lots of things. Okay, we're going to get rid of some of these pieces just to clear up our area here. So I've got Magenta Madness here, a panel that's 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Okay, and then I've got the really, really beautiful back-ordered paper, and I'm really sorry I'm using, like, it's not even orderable. You can't even put it in your cart. Expressions in Ink. It's a specialty paper, and it's $15, but it's well worth the $15. It's specialty because it's got that gold in it. So I'm going to add my adhesive. Let me grab my silicone craft sheet. And then we'll just add our adhesive. I just add it on 2 sides and a little bit in the middle. And then this is going to get layered on with an 1/8 of an inch border. I'm focusing on the left corner, looking all the way up, and then add it down, okay? All right, my neighbor's coming through with his really loud motorcycle right now. You probably are going to be able to hear it. It's actually not as loud as it normally is, because maybe it's because it's 9 o'clock. Okay, so we're going to turn this over. We're going to add 5 Stampin' Dimensionals, 1 to each corner and 1 in the middle. And I added this one a little bit off because our ribbon is going to go through that. Let's see, here's my ribbon. It's up here. So I'm using the open weave ribbon, okay? This I think is on back order. It's polished pink. All of the new ink colors are so fabulous that people, they just ordered and ordered and ordered it, and some of it's come back and some of it hasn't. So just bear with us because you're going to want to use it because it goes with a lot of different designer series paper. And again, don't forget, designer series paper is going to go on sale on July 1st. All right, so I removed all the backings there, and I'm going to add this, I'm going to add the ribbon to the back side, okay? And then let me bring my card base in. This is with our basic white, and it's an A2 size, so 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I'm adding this on to the base, so I can still now move this ribbon back and forth. Let me just see. Now on this card, I didn't do that, okay? So I'm gonna not do that because I want that ribbon going all the way through, of course. So let me just fix that. We're gonna go all the way on the inside, okay? So make sure that is flat, okay? And now I'm gonna move this bolt all the way over to the left side because I'm right-handed. And then I'm going to try to tie a nice bow for you guys. Okay, let's see if I can do it. And I just got super quiet. Okay, that's not too bad. Okay, let me just grab my ribbon scissors here. A pair, I've got 2 pair. And I'm just going to cut that at an angle. Okay, now I'm going to slide this over. Okay, so I'm just going to pick this up and move it over to the left. Okay, so that's looking good. We got rid of a lot of different pieces. Now we're going to do some die cutting. So let me move things out of my way. I've got the mini cut and emboss. Now the mini cut and emboss is one thing I'm going to be giving away at my retreat. And anybody that does order my retreat, even if you're a retreat in a box, will be entered because you guys are still attending my retreat. So 15 people so far have registered, so 1 in 15 chance of winning this. And I'll be giving this away on Sunday. But I also have a Stamparatus, and I have the Butterfly Brilliance along with that paper, the 6x6. Like, we could only order for a little bit, and now it's like not orderable. Well, I have a brand new pack of that. I've been saving it. So that's going to be another thing I'm going to be giving away, and most likely a Stampin' Trimmer. Okay, so we need to put down our plates. So we want number 1, and then we want number 2, and we want number 2 again. So we're going to try to die cut as many pieces as we can using pierced blooms. So here are all the dies, and you can see all the stitching. So here's one that's the double, but it's going different ways, which is great. So I love how they did that. And I've got more over here as well. So we're going to add some cardstock here. And we can probably run a couple of these through at once. I got Pale Papaya, Just Jade, and let me see. slide that one up. And then I got Magenta Madness. This is another great opportunity to save these little pieces of cardstock like we all do, and die cut some pierced blooms. Okay, so I've got that all looking good. I'm gonna start that and pushing it in until that handle starts to move. And then I'm grabbing my left hand, and I'm holding the handle, and I'm cranking with my right hand all the way through. This is a great machine to have on your desk, especially to cut these pierced blooms. All right, so we can see, look at that. I hope you can see the detail on that die cut. I'm gonna wait a second so my laptop catches up, because it's like on a 20-second delay. All right, so that's Magenta Madness. And then here's the Just Jade. And then here's the Pale Papaya. So isn't that really fun? All the detail on those dies. Like I could make flowers all day long. All right, so we got those die cut. Next thing we need to do is die cut the gold leaves. We don't keep these, we recycle. All right, so let's set up our mini cut and emboss again. We want number 1 and number 2. And then we've got our gold foil. Again, if you're ordering this extra class for $25, I do all the die cutting for you. So you don't have to do that. You can just assemble, stamp and assemble. All right, so we've got that little sandwich all ready to go. I'm pushing it in until that moves. It started to move. Okay, and we're gonna crank it all the way through. And we're gonna get some gold leaves with a lot of detail. And then I love the mini cut and emboss because you can just fold it up and it's really small and it sits on my desk. All right, so let's see what we have here. All right, those stuck to the die, so we'll flip those over. And I'm gonna take my Take Your Pick tool here. Oops, I just dropped it and it popped out, so that's awesome. Okay, so you can see, you gotta be really careful with this foliage piece because this area here is very delicate and it can easily break. But if your paper gets stuck in there, all you have to do is take your Pick tool and these little holes here, just push it, just a little tap and it will come out, okay? I'm really afraid I'm gonna lose these dies. All right, one last thing I need to do is, I totally forgot, but I need to stamp Friend on here. So we're going to be using Magenta Madness. And let's find that stamp set. Again, this is really fun because you can layer. So Friend is not around, it's right here. Okay, I need my stamp and pierce that. I could stamp on my desk and I'm afraid that it's not going to come out as good because I don't use Magenta Madness very much. So you just never know. And that's pretty solid. Friend. All right, we're going to close that up. And I need to die cut one more time. Sorry about that, but I'm just going to get my handy dandy mini cut and emboss out real quick. And, oh boy, what did I just do with my plates? Can somebody come and help me find my plates? I don't know where they went. Oh my goodness, there they are. All right, 1 and 2. Oh my goodness. And there goes the fireworks again. Okay, so I've got this one on. You can use washi tape to hold that die on there. I'm gonna wing it and see what happens. All right, good, I got that sandwich again. And we're just going to crank that right through. Now we're done die cutting. Let's see how I did. Oh, not too bad. All right, so there's our friend. Okay, so let's bring in that card example so we can see what we're going to be creating here. Okay, so I've got friend. We're going to need to put some dimensionals on it to pop it up over this ribbon here. And it also gives dimensions, so you're going to want to put 4 on this label. Okay, and then we're going to place this right, I'm going to place it right in this area here because this has got a lot of white, and I want to kind of cover it up. Okay, and that's pretty secure with the 4 dimensionals. Now we're going to create this flower here, and then we'll finish with the gold leaves. Okay, so how I did that was, let me grab all these here. We've got 3. So I added a Stampin Dimensional to the back of this one here, and they fit perfectly right in the center. And then I'm going to stack this one on the Magenta Madness. Again, this is Pale Papaya. Then I took the Just Jade, flipped it over, and I added another Stampin' Dimensional. So we've got 3 layers. This is the center. Okay, and then we're going to add this over in the corner here. And I used, guess what? 1 more Stampin' Dimensional. So this is really stacked up, but it's really fun too. Okay, and it's going to hold. It's going to work fine. Now we're going to take those 2 foliage gold leaves here, which are really pretty. Now you got to figure out if the whole piece is going to work or if you need to kind of break it off, which I'm going to show you one where it's going to be the full leaf, and then we're going to break that one apart. So I'm going to need I love to use my silicone craft sheet because with small little pieces here, you could use some multi-purpose liquid glue, but mine's in my closet. So I'm going to use my regular seal and hope I don't break this. But I'm holding it with my finger there and just pulling on that adhesive, and that worked fine. Okay, so I'm going to take this foliage, slide it underneath all of those, and angle it all the way up into that white area there. Okay, so now this one, you can layer them together if you wanted to, or I'm going to try to stick this one over here, but I'm going to take it apart, okay? I'm going to break it off because it's too long and it's going to go over the edge there, and I'm going to just sneak this one in here and just add some of that Stampin' Seal. Again, we're going to, Stampin' Seal is really sticky, so you got to be really careful. I would definitely use multi-purpose liquid glue. So I'm going to lift up that magenta and just going to pop this one right in there. Make sure it doesn't extend over the edge or else it's going to get crushed in your envelope. And I love how the little leaf is kind of going over that die cut there with the friend. And then finally we're going to take that champagne rhinestone and we're going to take the largest size and we're going to add it right to the center there. We're going to take this 3/4 of an inch by 5.5 strip of Expressions in ink. We're going to add this to the inside because I think it looks really nice with the gold. I'm going to line it up on the edge and Run it all the way across with a little bit of white down at the bottom. And you see how that ribbon looks really nice on the inside too. And there is your card. Phew, that's 3. Okay, so we can kind of look how these kind of look similar, but a little bit different because of the gold foliage placement. So in this class, you get the Biggest Wish stamp set. Let me just bring this one in. It looks like this. This stamp set is also going to be one of my card club stamps I'm going to use probably next month, and we'll see. But in my retreat, as an add-on class for this one, you're going to be making 4 cards. You'll be making the one we just made here, this one here. You'll also be making this one in shaded spruce. This one's beautiful with that die cut. Now, if you're going to retreat to go, you're going to get all these die cuts and all these punches. So it's all done for you. And then here's this one. It was kind of a fun fold. And then this green one I really love. And it uses the gold trim. This comes gold and silver. And here's some little fancy die cuts that you'll get as well. So, and you'll get 4 of the champagne rhinestones too with your kit. So, and I've got a little piece of gold foil here too. And that's the inside. Oh, I didn't stamp the other one, but the inside, but this is how I did this one in Pear Pizzazz with the Magenta Madness. So thanks, and then I stamped friend over top. So that is your Biggest Wish card add-on card class. So I hope you guys learned something new. I hope I still have a few people of you guys on board here. Looks like I got 16 watching. I'm just going to go through and see if I've got any other questions. Oh, me and my big mouth. Yep, Joni, I'm expecting you to make a teddy bear card. That is for sure. The cards are very pretty. Do you sell the add-on kits separately? I am not selling the add-on kits separately. It's a retreat plus the add-ons. The retreat runs anywhere from 115 to 100 and I think it's like 34 because the postage alone is going to be $20, and the postage I give to you at a discounted rate that I actually pay. So I wish postage didn't cost so much, but it's going to be a really big box. And then love the gold touches in this card. Yeah, I love this too. So yeah, this is like my favorite. I love this one. Like I like every single one of these cards. Like I would love to get this in the mail, any of these. So to get information, you need to be on my email list. And I will be sending out an email tomorrow night as a reminder. Everything closes down. Now, again, if you've already, there's 15 of you guys that have registered for my retreat, 2 in a box and 13 for in-person. If you've already, if you didn't add any of these add-ons, you can still do that. I'm going to be sending out a separate email tomorrow night to do that. So you do have a second chance to add on now that you've seen the cards. And hopefully I can find Mr. UPS's package that was delivered to me so I can finish up the peach class. And I'll show that in the future next week if I can get the dies in time. So I gotta figure out where he left them on my front door because they were not at my front door. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. If you have any questions, you can definitely email me at inspiredbygraham@gmail.com. It's really hard I can't figure out how to reply to YouTube messages. So if you have a question, please just email me that way. And I know some of you guys have my phone number that are on here as well. So you guys have a great night, and I'll talk to you next week. All right, take care. Bye.